Hello friends, good day to you, welcome back. This is part 31 of Shep's Spiritual Awakening and Destiny. In this part I'd like to talk about what happened 3 days after I'd been protected by Father God. Now I've disclosed that there was a conspirator in my life with 3 other criminals that they wanted to seal my fate. They had a hostage in the spirit realm. That's how they were controlling my spirit guides and stopping them from helping me. So shortly you will know what happened. What I'll do is make this video and the next one about this. Anyway, 3 days after I'd been protected by Father God when I was struck in the face, and I was sat in Peter's front room. Now this was about the 3rd week of June. I just sat there, and Peter had gone upstairs to bed about 9 o'clock as he usually did, and it was about 20 or 30 minutes later, and this guide had deluded me into believing that I needed to open my light for him to come down it to see him, which I didn't, of course, but I didn't know that. So anyway, he said to me to make my light brighter in Peter's front room. I was sat on the sofa, and I did so, and I thought I saw him, because they were giving me a projection in my mind of the light and him standing in there. Now there was 3 others, as I say, in there, 2 men and a woman. I didn't know this, and one of them was just showing me images of him and doing whatever they were doing. I wasn't taking that much notice, to be honest, but something bad was happening that night, and I'll go into that in the next video. But I was sat there, and after about 5 minutes after opening my light, I heard a beautiful Japanese voice speaking in perfect English with a Japanese accent saying, "Neil, may I speak to you?" Now, nobody was meant to speak to me other than this guide, so I'd had an experience that had unnerved me with what they said was my Chinese lady healing guide. So I was a bit wary, and so I immediately called out to this guide that was, linked to me through my light, what's going on? And he sort of said, "I'll be a few minutes before I come, before I talk to you again." I said, "What's going on?" And he did answer me immediately, and he said, "Don't talk to her, and sack her, sack her, sack her." And I thought that was an overreaction, because I thought maybe she shouldn't have been speaking to me. That's fair enough, but there was no need for that. So I said, "No, I won't sack her. You take care of it and deal with this matter, and caution her if it does need to be cautioned that she's not meant to speak to me yet." And that was that, more or less. And anyway, I sat there for about a further 10 to 15 minutes, and I could see her image of this guide still, which these, one of these 2 men, criminals in my life, were projecting to me still. And they then, in a more muffled voice, after about 15 minutes, said, "Close your light now." And I did so. I closed my light, and the next day, when I started trying to communicate with this guide, and I could hear his voice clairaudiently, you could say, in my mind, very clearly, and I couldn't hear it any longer. It was like the communication I was still getting when I was asking questions. They were answering it still, but there was no voice. It was just muffled understanding, comprehension of what they were saying to me in thoughts, maybe more, so that you couldn't recognise an accent, because this guy did have a slight accent, of course, and those in my light come from the UK, which he did not. So they put on a muffled voice more. Sometimes I could hear them a little bit, but not that much, so it started getting more muffled from that point onwards. Anyway, I'll go on to the next video. And this is 3 days later after this night that the next event happened. So thank you for watching. Website links, other links below this video. Love and light, ship.